A new murder case has a possible witness, but the witness is a parrot. Tell us about it, Rick.
You heard that right. Like, we're not kidding. It's a parrot, okay? A parrot.
A bird.
A pet parrot, okay? So, and I believe this information is coming out quite a bit after the murder went down. And what had happened was obviously someone had come into a man's house and he was murdered. And recently, they have a parrot named Bud. He's an African gray parrot in Ensley Township, Michigan. Now, the bird's antic landed off where, in fact, the Bud's owner, 45-year-old Martin Duram, okay? He was fatally shot at his home in May 2015. Okay, so 2015, he was shot. Now, today, this new witness comes forward, and it's Bud. Because what happened is, it's Bud. It's Bud the parrot. Because as we know, parrots can mimic. They can copy what they hear. And this particular bird, Bud, it seems to be reenacting an argument between the girlfriend and the boyfriend, including the lines, don't, and then censor, don't effing shoot. That information came forward, and now the girlfriend is being investigated because the voice also picks up her arguing back and forth with the boyfriend, followed by the line, don't effing shoot. And now she's being investigated.
My thing on that, though, is can you really listen to an animal? Not saying, like, being honest, come on, man. Like, that's not enough evidence. And who's to say that it happened a year ago? Like, how would the parrot, I don't know parrot's memory, but who's to say that it learned that a year ago and not now its new owners just didn't say don't effing shoot, and then that's what caused them to now start saying it? Because a year, that's a huge gap.
That's a very long
huge
time.
gap for a parrot to now just pull it back into their memory like, don't effing shoot. Come on. A, you're a parrot.
A, you're a parrot.
Like, B,
you're a parrot.
you'll never get on the witness stand. Not saying that would really happen.
He's got rights. He's got rights.
Like, they're gonna put him on and he's just like,
Now the interesting thing is it doesn't essentially say she is the murderer. All it means is like, hey, maybe we should investigate her a little bit. I mean, usually in murder cases, you always go to the spouse or significant other first. You always go to those first. And in light of this new information of hearing the voice, because I think what they did was they had they can also duplicate the sound. So it's not just the phrase itself, they can duplicate the voice. And that's where they're getting all this intrigue from, is that it is the girlfriend's voice and it is the boyfriend's voice in an argument, followed by don't effing shoot. So I think all this did was just pique their interest a little bit. I think they're gonna look into it. The day we see Bud on the stand, though, is a day that America has completely lost its mind. I don't think the bird is ever gonna take the stand. I don't even think that they could even base a conviction off of this. And I don't think they can. I really don't. I think they're just...
There's no way.
I think they're kind of just entertaining the fact that Bud said some stuff. And they're like, well, Bud said some stuff. Maybe we should hear him out. But I don't think in any way she's gonna be convicted because of this alone.
But at the end of the day, you have to remember one thing we didn't mention was that the girlfriend, when the bodies were found, she was also shot into the head. So maybe it was trying to be a murder-suicide.
Possibly.
You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
But she could also be a victim in this, and this could now be putting her through a trial and process that she doesn't wish to go through. It's probably emotionally exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if she had nothing to do with it, she has to relive it all over again.
Yeah, now
because Bud the parrot doesn't want to speak up.
Now, emotionally damaging. Now that she knows if she killed her boyfriend, husband, whatever it was, that's wrong. She should go to jail.
She should go to jail because Bud.
2016. But
Bud is making America great again.
Bud is making
America great again.
We need more parrots.
We need more parrots. And I don't think I've ever heard of another case similar to this where an animal has come forward, other than maybe DNA being left on an animal's fur or things like that, but for an animal to just come out and speak on the behalf of his owner and is like, hey man, I know exactly who did this, and it was his girlfriend. Don't effing shoot. But again, I think they're just entertaining the idea. I think they kind of owe it to look into it. It's just one of those things where they have to investigate, and unfortunately, if she had nothing to do with it and she's a victim herself, she has to go through it all over again, and that's terribly, terribly, terribly sad. But if she did have something to do with it, and it all comes down to conviction based off of Bud the parrot, he deserves a parade.
That's sad.
He deserves a parade.
But I mean, let me take the other side.
Okay.
If I was a woman and I shot myself, I didn't shoot myself in the face. Let's say someone came in, killed my husband,
all right,
and tried to kill me, but thought I was dead, left, shot in the head. And now there's a parrot. Like, how do we know that the parrot isn't recording or speaking of the murderer coming in, an ex-girlfriend coming in, someone else coming in? You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have said, you left me for a... There could have been an infidelity thing.
Absolutely, that could have been.
Where they came in to now approach them. The girl gets out of hand, says, don't be on my man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the girl's like, hold up. Bang, bang. Done. And then she leaves. But before she shoots, homeboy is like, hey man, don't shoot.
Don't shoot. Okay.
Don't effing shoot.
Don't effing shoot.
Bam.
I mean, there are so many variables, and if it was an angry ex or something to do with another significant other, I think that they might have had more leads into it. Maybe like, cause she would say, oh yeah, a woman, because she survived. She'd be like, a woman came in and this and this. All we know is that it was an intruder. That's pretty much they painted. Said an intruder came into the home, and that's her story. She said an intruder came to the home, and this went down. Unfortunately, it does happen. Usually, when there are cases like this where there is no connection between the murderer and the victims, they do get away. It happens because they don't have any leads. I mean, there can be DNA, but now you have to play this. You have to track everything backwards. So it's extremely, extremely, extremely difficult. Again, I just think they're taking precautions. It's like, oh my God, we're getting this new information. They've never caught the person.
It's not new information.
It's new information. Bud was just like, here's my owner's voice, and I was curious. It's mainly because of their altercation. It's the fight, and you're right. It could have been just the bird mimicking a fight they had 2 weeks before the murder. 2 weeks.
Exactly.
It could have been, and it was just it was mainly the parents of the victim. They're just looking for anything because they want their son's murder brought to justice. So they're looking more into things sometimes than they should. And we do that. When we want something fixed and we want something corrected, sometimes we look even harder. His parents, never finding a murder for this, hear their pet bird say, we're arguing, don't ever shoot. And they're just like, oh my God, we have a lead. So like, I feel that they're doing what a lot of people do when they grieve, is they're just looking for an answer. And I think that's what they're doing at the moment.
And I can understand where the parents are coming from with wanting justice for their child, but basing anything off of the words of a parrot are not something that I would do. It's not something that I would even consider. Yes, it's funny. Yes, it's great news. Yes, we can talk about it.
Absolutely.
But if this girl goes to jail,
it's not gonna happen.
It's
not gonna happen.
Off the statement of a parrot,
it's not gonna happen.
I'm done.
I don't. That's America's judicial system, but it's not gonna happen.
I don't wish to
A defense attorney would destroy this. A defense attorney would destroy this in every sense of the word. It's like, oh, maybe he was watching TV and he just heard a voice that sounded very similar to his husband. Like, there's so many variables to take into consideration. It's just news because it's different. Like, it's like, oh my God, a parrot may get a woman indicted for a murder because of just repeating a couple phrases. I don't think she's going away.
My thing is this. Let's go back to the defense attorney. If I was on the defense of this, I would then take her and say, if you can take the statement of a parrot, then I can put the parrot on the stand.
And you do it. And you put the parrot on the stand and you ask the parrot questions.
And then the parrot cannot answer correctly, the game is over.
Case closed.
The game is over.
Case closed. A defense attorney would destroy that.
Case closed.
Yeah, so that case closed. I think she'll be fine. She just has to go through everything again, which is terrible.